As a retired doctor, I've seen more than my fair share of patients, some who live to a ripe old age with ease and others whose health slowly fades as the years pile up. But one thing I've noticed, something that often goes unnoticed by most people, is how our most mundane daily habits can make or break our vitality as we grow older. One such habit that seems harmless, yet has a profound impact, is the simple act of showering. Let me start by asking you this. Have you ever really thought about the way you shower? When was the last time you paused to consider how the temperature of the water or the length of your shower might be affecting your body, especially as you age? I know, it may sound trivial, almost absurd. It's just a shower. You might say, how can that possibly impact my health? But as I stand here before you, having spent decades as a physician, I can tell you, it can make all the difference. At this stage in life, every action we take, every choice we make, sends a signal to our body. The older we get, the more sensitive our body becomes to the smallest details. The water temperature, the duration of your shower, the timing, it all matters more than you could imagine. And if you've been taking your showers the wrong way, you may unknowingly be doing more harm than good. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal? I've been showering the same way for years and I'm fine. But here's the hard truth. When we're younger, our bodies can handle a lot of wear and tear, but as we age, they don't bounce back as easily. Our skin, which is our body's first line of defense, becomes thinner. The blood vessels that once quickly adjusted to temperature changes now react slower. And the nervous system, which once handled hot water without a second thought, now becomes more sensitive and can misinterpret signals from the environment. And that, my dear friends, is where the danger lies. What once felt like a soothing shower might now be doing the opposite, quietly working against your body, draining your energy, and accelerating the very processes that lead to illness, poor sleep, and a weakened immune system. It may sound alarming, but hear me out. I've seen firsthand how small, seemingly insignificant changes to something as basic as showering can have a massive impact on overall health. In my years of practice, I've learned that there's so much more to a shower than just cleanliness. It's a ritual, a reset. But if you don't take the time to shower in a way that supports your aging body, you might be unknowingly setting yourself up for sleepless nights, higher stress levels, and even quicker physical decline. So, what's the solution? I'm going to share with you a simple yet powerful method, one that I've seen work wonders for many people, young and old alike. But before we dive into the specifics, I want you to pause and reflect. How many times have you felt relaxed after a hot shower, only to toss and turn in bed later that night? Or perhaps you've woken up feeling more tired than when you went to bed. This isn't just coincidence, your body is sending you signals. You might be thinking, but I feel fine. And yes, you might feel fine in the moment, but I'm here to tell you that the body is a complex system, and sometimes what feels good in the short term can be damaging in the long run. Take it from me, after decades in the medical field, I've seen the most well-meaning habits backfire in the most unexpected ways. But here's the good news. By making small adjustments to your shower routine, you can improve your sleep, boost your immune system, and keep your body healthier, stronger, and more resilient than ever. I'm not here to scare you, but to empower you. Because understanding the right way to shower is a powerful tool in your wellness toolkit, one that you have complete control over. If you're interested in learning how these changes can help, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you're not just supporting this channel, but you're also taking the first step in making healthier choices for yourself and the people you care about. And before we continue, I'd like to hear from you. Do you think small changes in your shower routine can improve your overall health, or do you think it's all just about getting clean? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Simply comment if you think a shower routine can make a big difference, or B, if you think it's just about cleanliness. I can't wait to see your responses and dive deeper into this discussion with you. As I sit back and reflect on my decades of experience as a physician, I am struck by how often we overlook the simplest, most fundamental aspects of our daily routines. In all the years I spent diagnosing and treating patients, I came to realize that so many of us focus on the complex medications, treatments, diets while neglecting the power of the most basic practices. And one of the most powerful, yet underappreciated, practices is something that all of us engage in daily. Showering. Now, let me pause and ask you this. How many of you think about showering as a routine to reset your body? Most of us would probably think of showering as just a simple, almost automatic task, something we do to clean ourselves. But after all these years of working in medicine, I can tell you that this everyday habit holds far more significance than we often realize, especially as we grow older. You see, showering is not just about getting clean. It's about how we treat our body during that time. It's about the signals we send to ourselves when we step under the water, the way we regulate our internal systems, and the subtle changes we make in our environment that can help or hinder our health. But as we age, those signals change. The body becomes less able to regulate temperature as efficiently, our skin thins, our blood vessels react slower, and our nervous system becomes more sensitive. This is where showering can either be a healing experience or a silent stressor, depending on how we approach it. For many years, I practiced in a clinical setting, helping countless patients manage the challenges of aging. One of the things I learned over time was how profoundly the act of bathing can affect older adults. In countries like Japan, the culture of bathing goes far beyond cleanliness. It's seen as a ritual for healing, for resetting the body, mind, and spirit. It's not just about getting clean, it's about giving the body a moment to recalibrate. In fact, bathing is often viewed as a time to reconnect with oneself and with nature. In Japan, we even have something called contrast bathing, where people switch between hot and cold water to stimulate circulation and calm the nervous system. This idea of bathing as a means to restore balance within the body may sound unfamiliar to many in the West, but it is something I've seen work wonders for older patients. The Japanese have long understood that when we are in the shower or bath, we are not simply cleansing the body, we are engaging in a process that deeply impacts how we feel, think, and recover. And I've come to believe that this understanding is just as important for those of us in the West as it is for our counterparts in Japan. As we age, we begin to lose the ability to handle extreme temperatures as easily as we did when we were younger. Hot water that once soothed and relaxed us can now become a trigger for the body's stress responses. The skin, for example, becomes thinner, which makes it more susceptible to damage from hot water. The blood vessels, which used to expand and contract easily, now struggle to adapt as swiftly to temperature changes. And the nervous system, which once handled external stimuli with ease, becomes more sensitive and reactive to these changes. This is why it's so important to rethink how we shower, especially as we get older. If you shower with water that's too hot, or if you take long, steamy showers late at night, you might be unknowingly putting your body into overdrive. While the heat may feel soothing in the moment, it can actually increase your heart rate and raise your levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. This, in turn, can interfere with the production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for sleep, leaving you restless and agitated rather than relaxed. But here's the thing that many don't realize: the body doesn't just feel the water. It interprets it just like it interprets light, sound, food, and other external stimuli. So when you step into the shower, you're not only cleansing your skin, you're sending signals to your nervous system, your heart, and even your brain. If you don't take care to make those signals the right kind, your body can end up feeling more stressed and out of balance. The good news is, there are simple adjustments you can make to your shower routine that can significantly improve your health and vitality as you age. These changes aren't difficult, but they can have a profound effect on your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And they all start with something as simple as the temperature of the water and the way you finish your shower. I know it may sound unbelievable, but I've seen firsthand how changing the way we shower can help to reset the body. It can calm the nervous system, improve circulation, and even promote better sleep. It's not just about how long you shower or how hot the water is. It's about understanding how these elements interact with your body and how you can use them to your advantage. You see, our body is always trying to restore balance. But as we get older, it becomes a little harder for the body to find that balance on its own. That's where we come in. By adjusting the way we shower, by using water that's not too hot, by shortening the length of time we spend in the shower, and by incorporating a cool-down phase at the end we can support our body's natural rhythms, encourage healing, and feel more energized and rejuvenated. So, if you're like most people, you probably haven't given much thought to how your shower routine might be affecting you. You might not even realize that small changes can have a big impact. But I've spent a lifetime in medicine, and I can tell you this with certainty. What you do in those few minutes every day matters more than you might think. In the coming videos, I'll show you exactly how to adjust your shower routine in a way that will support your body and keep you feeling strong, healthy, and resilient as you age. These changes are simple, but they're also incredibly powerful. So, stick around, there's a lot more to come. And if you're enjoying this information, be sure to hit the subscribe button. By doing so, you'll be supporting this channel, which helps me continue sharing tips and advice to help you live your healthiest, happiest life. Remember, it's the little things, those small, everyday habits that can make all the difference in how you feel, how you age, and how well you live. Let's take that first step together, one shower at a time. As I look back on my years of experience as a doctor, I can't help but think of the countless mistakes I've seen people make, often without even realizing it. These small mistakes, seemingly harmless, can have lasting impacts on our health, especially as we age. And while we all focus on things like medication and exercise, there's one simple, everyday activity that I've seen people consistently overlook, especially as they get older: showering. It might sound odd to think of showering as something that could harm our health, but as I've learned over the years, it's one of those subtle practices that can either support our well-being or silently work against us. It's easy to assume that a shower is just a basic, necessary ritual, something we do without thinking. After all, it's just a matter of cleaning ourselves, right? But as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to these small details. What once felt comforting can now have the opposite effect. As someone who has spent decades working in medicine, I've witnessed firsthand the consequences of seemingly trivial habits. I've treated patients who suffered from chronic conditions that could have been alleviated simply by adjusting their showering routines. Let me explain why. As we grow older, our skin, blood vessels, and nervous system change in ways that affect how we respond to everyday activities, including showering. The hot water that once soothed our muscles now can increase our heart rate and raise cortisol levels, triggering a stress response. The long showers we used to enjoy can now dry out our skin, leaving it vulnerable and more prone to damage. These are the mistakes I've seen time and time again, and it's heartbreaking to think about how easy it is to make these errors, thinking we're doing ourselves a favor when in fact, we're not. Let me start with what I consider to be the most common mistake I see people make when it comes to showering as they age: showering too hot, too long, and too late in the evening. For many older adults, a hot shower before bed feels like a comforting ritual, a way to relax after a long day. And I understand why. The heat of the water soothes tired muscles, eases the tension in the body, and provides a sense of calm. But here's where things get tricky. The heat from the water doesn't just relax your body, it also signals to your brain and nervous system in a much more profound way than you realize. The body is constantly interpreting the stimuli we expose it to. When we shower with water that's too hot, above 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius, our body starts to interpret that heat as a stressor. This isn't something we consciously feel, but it's happening inside. Our heart rate increases, our body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, and our sleep cycle gets disrupted. You may feel relaxed at first, but what you don't realize is that your body is in a heightened state of alert, making it harder for you to wind down and get restful sleep. As we age, our body's ability to regulate temperature diminishes. Our skin becomes thinner, and our blood vessels become less responsive to changes in temperature. The body that once handled hot showers without issue now struggles to adapt. That's why showering with hot water late at night can be particularly harmful. It interferes with our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that tells us when to rest and when to wake. I've seen countless patients who struggle with poor sleep, not realizing that their nightly hot showers are part of the problem. The second mistake I often see is skipping the cool-down phase after the shower. It's a small detail, but it's one that can make a world of difference. Most people, after finishing their shower, simply step out and towel off, not thinking twice about how they end the experience. But in reality, the way you finish your shower matters just as much as how you start it. In traditional cultures, particularly in Japan, people often finish their baths with a quick exposure to cooler water. This isn't about plunging into freezing water, but rather gently lowering the temperature. This simple act can send a powerful signal to the body. It's time to reset. Here's why this works. When we expose our body to cooler water, we activate something called the vascular pump. The blood vessels contract, the heart rate slows, and circulation improves. The cool water helps guide the nervous system into a state of relaxation, allowing the body to transition from being in a heightened state of alert to one of rest and repair. This can help lower blood pressure, reduce swelling in the legs, and improve overall thermal balance throughout the night. By not taking this simple step, you're missing out on an opportunity to restore balance in your body. Now, the third mistake that I see far too often is overusing harsh soaps and scrubbing the entire body every single day. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and less able to retain moisture. The outer layer of the skin, known as the stratum corneum, weakens over time. And yet, many seniors continue to use strong, detergent-based soaps and scrub their skin vigorously, thinking it's necessary to wash every inch of the body. What they don't realize is that this practice is doing more harm than good. Harsh soaps and excessive scrubbing strip away the skin's natural oils, which are essential for maintaining hydration and protecting against infections. The skin's microbiome, the collection of beneficial bacteria that acts as a protective barrier, becomes disrupted. When this barrier is damaged, the skin becomes more prone to dryness, irritation, and infections. I've seen patients whose skin became so fragile that even the slightest touch or irritation caused rashes or tears in the skin. The solution is simple: use mild, pH-balanced cleansers and only wash the key areas of the body, like the underarms, feet, and groin. For the rest of the body, rinsing with warm water is often enough. This approach helps maintain the skin's natural oils and microbiome, which is essential for keeping the skin healthy and resilient as we age. Showering is such a basic activity, yet it has the potential to either support our health or unknowingly cause harm. The truth is, these mistakes are not intentional. Many people simply don't realize how their showering habits are affecting their bodies. But by making small adjustments, lowering the water temperature, incorporating a cool-down phase, and using gentler products, we can turn our showers into a restorative, healing experience. As I've seen throughout my career, the way we care for our bodies is often a reflection of how much we value our health. We may not realize it, but something as simple as showering can either support our well-being or quietly undermine it. By becoming more mindful of our shower routines, we can take a small but powerful step toward improving our health and quality of life. In the next segment, I'll share a simple, effective shower routine that can help you make the most out of this everyday ritual. Stay tuned, your health and vitality are worth it. As I sit here reflecting on my years of practice, the most profound realization I've come to is that health is not just about medication or exercises. It's about the small, seemingly mundane choices we make every day. When I first started in medicine, I focused heavily on the complexities of treatments and medications, thinking they were the key to good health. However, over the years, I've learned that sometimes it's the simplest things that make the most profound difference. One of the most underestimated aspects of health, especially as we age, is our showering routine. I understand that showering may seem trivial, a task we do automatically, without much thought. But after decades of caring for patients, I can tell you that the way we shower is more important than most people realize. It's not just about getting clean, it's about how you treat your body, how you reset and rejuvenate your system in those few minutes. And for older adults, showering is an opportunity to nurture the body, calm the mind, and boost vitality. But to do that, you must approach it with mindfulness. I've seen firsthand how a simple shower routine can transform someone's health. The good news is that a senior-friendly shower routine doesn't have to be complex or difficult. It can be both simple and restorative. As we age, our bodies are not as resilient to extreme temperatures or long exposure to hot water. Our skin becomes thinner, more fragile, and more prone to drying out. The muscles in our bodies take longer to recover and the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress. But when done correctly, showering can be a ritual that resets the body, relaxes the muscles, and rejuvenates the nervous system, all while avoiding the common mistakes that can lead to fatigue or stress. Now, let me walk you through a shower routine that I believe is not only easy but also incredibly effective for seniors. It's a routine I've recommended to countless patients over the years, and time again, it has shown remarkable benefits. This isn't about spending more time in the shower or using more products. In fact, it's about doing less, but doing it with more intention. The first key to this routine is timing. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to time your shower properly, especially in the evening. Many older adults make the mistake of taking a shower right before bed, thinking it will help them relax. However, as our bodies age, we lose the ability to regulate temperature as efficiently. Taking a hot shower too close to bedtime can actually make it harder for you to fall asleep. The body's core temperature needs to drop in order to signal to the brain that it's time to rest. So, I recommend showering at least 90 minutes before you plan to sleep. This allows your body temperature to rise slightly from the warmth of the water, then naturally fall afterward, triggering the production of melatonin, which is vital for a restful night's sleep. Next, we come to water temperature. As I've mentioned, older skin is more delicate and thinner than it used to be. This means that hot water can be harsh on the skin, causing it to dry out more quickly, leading to irritation and vulnerability. I recommend keeping the water temperature warm, not hot, around 98 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius to 39 degrees Celsius. This temperature range is perfect for relaxing the muscles, soothing the body, and calming the nervous system without overstimulating it. Too hot, and you risk irritating your skin and raising your heart rate. Too cold, and you may not be able to relax enough to fully benefit from the shower. The key here is moderation, gentle warmth that invites relaxation without overwhelming the body. Duration is the next crucial factor. Many people believe that a longer shower is better, but this is often not the case. As we age, prolonged exposure to water can leave the skin feeling dry and irritated, especially if you're using hot water. Keeping your shower between 7 to 10 minutes is sufficient. You don't need to spend a long time under the water. The goal is to cleanse the body gently, relieve any tension in the muscles, and allow the body to relax. This is not the time for rushing or excessive scrubbing. Focus on relaxation, not just cleaning. When it comes to the use of soap, I encourage seniors to be selective. Your skin is no longer as resilient as it once was, and harsh soaps can strip it of its natural oils. Instead of scrubbing your entire body with soap, focus on key areas: underarms, feet, and groin. These are the areas that typically require cleansing. For the rest of the body, rinse with warm water. Over-cleansing can damage the skin's protective barrier, leaving it dry and vulnerable. By using mild, pH-balanced cleansers, you help preserve the skin's natural microbiome, which is essential for protecting against infections and maintaining moisture. The cool-down phase is one of the most important steps in this routine. After you finish cleansing your body, it's vital to end the shower with a brief exposure to cooler water. This doesn't mean freezing cold water, it's simply a gentle drop in temperature, enough to stimulate circulation and encourage the body to return to a state of balance. You'll notice that after a few seconds of cool water, your heart rate slows, your muscles relax further, and you feel a deep sense of calm. This cooling process helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest and recovery. It's a simple step that takes just 30 seconds but makes all the difference in preparing the body for relaxation and restful sleep. Finally, the post-shower ritual is just as important. After you've finished your shower, gently pat your skin dry with a towel. Don't rub. Rubbing can irritate the skin and cause damage, especially as you get older. After drying off, apply a natural moisturizer or oil, something gentle and nourishing, like almond oil or sesame oil. These oils help lock in moisture, keeping the skin hydrated and protected. Afterward, consider taking a moment to engage in a calming activity, whether it's drinking a cup of herbal tea, doing some slow, deep breathing exercises, or simply sitting in silence for a few minutes. This allows your body and mind to transition into a state of relaxation, signaling that the day is over and it's time to rest. I've recommended this shower routine to many of my patients over the years, and without fail, it has made a significant difference in how they feel. It's not about spending more time or money on products. It's about creating a routine that supports your body's natural rhythms and helps it to recover and rejuvenate. A few simple changes to your shower routine can make all the difference in how you feel each day and in how you age. It's a restorative, effective approach that leaves you feeling more balanced, more relaxed, and more resilient. As I look back over my years in medicine, it's clear to me now that health doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, the most profound changes come from the simplest habits that we can control and change with a little bit of mindfulness. This shower routine is one of those habits, and I hope you'll consider adopting it to improve your health and quality of life. After all, it's not about the quantity of things we do each day, it's about the quality of the choices we make. As a doctor with many years of experience, I've come to learn that health is not just about the big interventions or the groundbreaking treatments that we often focus on. The true foundation of lasting health lies in the smallest details, the simplest habits, the everyday decisions we make without giving them much thought. Over the years, I've had the privilege of watching patients of all ages, and what stands out to me is how often the most effective changes come from the things that seem trivial. And in my experience, one of the most profound, yet overlooked, practices is the act of showering. When I first started my medical career, I would never have imagined that something as ordinary as showering could play such a crucial role in someone's health. It wasn't until later in my career that I started to see the deeper connection between our daily routines and how our bodies respond to them. As we grow older, these routines, these small habits, become more important than ever. A shower is no longer just a means to cleanse oneself, it becomes an opportunity for the body to reset, to restore balance, and to heal. Let me tell you, it's not just about cleaning yourself. It's about how you treat your body in those few minutes, how you use the time to rejuvenate both your physical and mental state. And as we age, showering can be one of the most effective ways to support our health, as long as it's done with mindfulness. Over the years, I've seen the power of a mindful shower routine. Simple adjustments like changing the temperature of the water, reducing the length of the shower, or incorporating a cool-down phase can have profound effects on overall well-being. I've seen it in my patients. I've seen it in myself. These changes are not difficult or expensive to implement, but they carry immense long-term benefits. The first and most immediate benefit is the improvement in sleep quality. Many older adults struggle with sleep. They toss and turn, unable to fall into a restful, deep sleep. But one of the most surprising things I've learned in my years as a physician is how much showering can affect sleep. When done right, a mindful shower routine can help regulate your circadian rhythm. By showering at the right time and with the right temperature, you're sending signals to your brain that it's time to wind down, time to rest. The drop in body temperature after a warm shower, especially when done 90 minutes before bed, helps trigger melatonin production, the hormone responsible for sleep. This simple act can help your body prepare for a night of restorative sleep, giving you the rest you need to face the challenges of the next day. But the benefits don't stop there. I've seen the positive effects of a mindful shower routine extend to immune function as well. As we age, our immune systems naturally weaken, making us more susceptible to infections and illnesses. But the simple act of showering can actually support your immune system. The cooling phase at the end of a shower stimulates circulation and helps boost the immune response. By activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest and recovery, a mindful shower routine encourages the body to enter a state of repair, where the immune system can work more efficiently. It's amazing how something as simple as adjusting the way you shower can have such a profound effect on your body's ability to defend itself. Equally important is the impact a mindful shower routine can have on mental clarity and emotional well-being. As we age, it's not just our physical health that needs attention, our minds require care as well. We often underestimate the role stress plays in our lives, particularly in the lives of older adults. Stress, if not properly managed, can lead to mental fog, difficulty concentrating, and even feelings of anxiety or depression. By incorporating a few simple adjustments to your shower routine, you can help calm your mind and reset your emotional state. The warm water relaxes the muscles, easing tension, while the cool-down phase promotes mental clarity and calm. A few minutes of mindfulness during your shower can be all it takes to reset both your body and your mind, leaving you feeling more focused, clear-headed, and emotionally balanced. Another significant long-term benefit is the improvement in skin health. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and less able to retain moisture. The natural oils that once kept our skin soft and protected become less abundant. Harsh showering habits like using hot water or scrubbing too vigorously can further damage the skin's delicate barrier, leading to dryness, irritation, and a greater risk of infections. But with a mindful shower routine, we can help preserve the skin's natural moisture and integrity. By keeping the water temperature moderate and using mild, pH-balanced cleansers, we can cleanse the body without stripping it of essential oils. The cool-down phase at the end of the shower helps to close the pores and lock in moisture, leaving the skin hydrated and healthy. Over time, these small, simple changes in your showering routine can result in a deeper sense of well-being and vitality. The body, like a finely tuned instrument, requires regular maintenance. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to stresses, and the wear and tear of daily life becomes more pronounced. But when we approach showering with mindfulness and intention, we provide our bodies with an opportunity to heal and reset. It's not just about maintaining cleanliness, it's about creating a ritual that supports our health, improves our sleep, boosts our immune function, and enhances our emotional well-being. The beauty of this approach is that it's simple. It doesn't require any special equipment or expensive treatments. It doesn't demand hours of your time or a complete overhaul of your daily habits. It simply requires mindfulness and intention. And the benefits, both immediate and long-term, are far-reaching. As a retired doctor, I've seen patients who have struggled with their health for years, only to find relief through simple, everyday changes. A mindful shower routine is one of the easiest and most effective changes you can make to improve your quality of life as you age. And I am confident that by adopting these small adjustments, you will not only feel better, but you'll also be investing in your long-term health and vitality. In the end, it's not the grand gestures that make the biggest difference. It's the small, consistent actions we take each day. And when those actions are rooted in mindfulness and self-care, they can transform our health in ways we never thought possible. So, take a moment to think about your shower routine. Consider the small changes you can make to turn it into a restorative, healing experience. It may seem like a small shift, but the long-term benefits will be profound. Your health is in your hands, and sometimes the smallest adjustments can make the greatest impact. Take that first step today. As I reflect on the journey of a long career in medicine, I've come to realize that, often, we complicate our approach to health. We look for big answers, expensive treatments, complex diets, and sophisticated routines. Yet, time and time again, I've seen that the simplest changes often bring the most profound results. It's these small, everyday habits like showering that, when done with mindfulness and intention, can have an enormous impact on our overall health. Showering may seem trivial, a mere daily routine that most people do without thinking twice. However, for those of us aging, the way we shower can deeply influence how we feel, how well we sleep, and even how resilient our immune system remains. As we age, our bodies are no longer as resilient as they once were, and we become more sensitive to the signals we send to them. A hot shower that once felt soothing can now trigger a stress response in our body, affecting our heart rate, our ability to sleep, and ultimately, our overall health. This is why I've spent so much time reflecting on the importance of showering with mindfulness, something I learned through my many years in medicine. The small adjustments, like timing your shower, using water at the right temperature, and incorporating a cool-down phase at the end, all add up to profound benefits. These adjustments don't just improve how you feel immediately after your shower, but they support long-term health, from improved sleep and better circulation to a stronger immune system and healthier skin. It's easy to dismiss these small changes. We live in a world that values quick fixes, complex solutions, and shortcuts to health. But the truth is, the simplest, most sustainable changes often come from the basics. Instead of seeking complicated remedies, we must ask ourselves, what simple, consistent actions can I take every day that will compound into better health? For many, the answer may be something as simple as how we approach our shower routine. One of the most profound lessons I've learned throughout my career is that small habits done consistently lead to big results over time. In many ways, the body is like a plant nourished by small, consistent efforts. A little bit of care each day can go a long way toward ensuring long-term health. The same principle applies to how we shower. Taking a mindful approach to showering by simply adjusting the temperature, timing, and duration gives our bodies the chance to reset, heal, and function optimally. Here's the lesson to take away. Health doesn't always come from big, dramatic changes. Sometimes, it's about paying attention to the small things, the rituals that are part of our daily lives. When we take the time to approach these everyday routines with mindfulness, we allow our bodies to thrive in ways we often overlook. Instead of focusing on grand solutions, look at the small, daily habits you have and ask yourself, what changes can I make here to improve my well-being? How can you apply this to your life right now? Start with something simple. Consider how you shower. Are you rushing through it, or are you allowing yourself to experience it as an opportunity to reset? Pay attention to the temperature of the water, the timing, and how you finish. Make small adjustments and observe the difference it makes in how you feel after. It might seem insignificant, but I promise you, these small habits can create lasting, positive change in your life. If you're interested in making this small but significant shift, here's a simple question for you. How often do you take the time to reflect on your daily routines, and what small adjustments do you think could make a big difference in your health? I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation and learn from one another's experiences. And if you found value in this content and believe in the importance of sharing this knowledge with others, please consider subscribing to this channel. Every subscription helps to create more meaningful content. Also, if you feel compelled, please consider making a donation to support the channel. Even a small contribution can make a huge difference in keeping this content coming and ensuring that I can continue sharing my experience with you all. I may be older now, but I still want to give back, to contribute something valuable to society, and your support helps make that possible. Thank you for being a part of this community.